So our main goal is to, I guess, show the audience like what we're working on in terms of our ideas and talking about Korean shamanism and folklores, but to kind of contemporize and reimagine a lot of things that have happened before in terms of the history of Korean shamanism, Buddhism, and just and the war, but as also looking at the history and things, and even in like American history, in the perspective from an Asian American perspective.
Yeah, and we obviously have really specific references that we're making, like these pre-colonial traditions, but we also don't want it to be super didactic, and we want people to kind of be able to come in and take experiences away, which is why for the title, we had a lot of discussions, but like, do we name it after the rituals? And we landed on dreams as being a sort of more broader term, and it can mean a lot of things. It can mean ancestral dreams, it can mean personal dreams. And so we definitely want people to sort of take away what resonates with them.
I think a big part of it is the sculpture work that are 3D printed. And because the history of art in general is so centered on white bodies, and especially men, we wanted to use our bodies as a 3D scan and try to 3D print it and then present it into the audience. So that part is a big, I guess, part of our work in representing and presenting Asian American bodies in the art world itself, or just to the audience. But also, each film has its own kind of, I guess, like topic that we work around. So for instance, we have a video over there that has a red bridge, and Ayoung is crossing this really narrow bridge.
Yeah,
that's
on top of a really tall, like an empty riverbed.
Yeah. So it's also about her getting over the fear of heights.
That's not necessarily part of, yeah.
But it is, we're talking about the idea of threshold, and it has many different meanings. And one particularly in Korea, you're not supposed to step on thresholds of doors. It's because threshold is meant to be like an in-between between life and death. So when you do step on it, it's bad luck.
A personal favorite for me is actually the black and white video that is being projected on the water. That takes place in it's in the water tanks at the DMZ, and it's actually sort of an unmarked grave, and it's a haunted space. It's a site. It was a site of mass execution. And there's a lot of unclaimed bodies in that space, and so we worked with amazing dancer So-Hae Kim and her partner Pil-Gyun Jung, who did a choreograph using anonymous masks, which are featured in that dress over there, as a way to talk about, this idea of like unnamed bodies and unclaimed bodies, and this idea of just projecting on water also seemed something that I'm excited about visually. Water comes up a lot in our performances. We did a couple of performances, for example, at the DMZ on a lake or a river that flows down from North Korea to South Korea. We've stepped on it when it was frozen. We've gotten inside of it when it was not frozen. And thinking about what that means as well, like this idea of a riverbed that is kind of passing through borderless and being like part of it and submerged in it. Yeah, that's my personal favorite.
Yeah. I have multiple personal favorites. I like them all. I really like a 3D print of Ayoung. I think that was one of our first prints that we've done, the first iteration, and we've been working on it actually for like almost a year now. So
on and off, yeah.
But we've been constantly changing it, like every couple of months we'll like tweak it here and there, but that's been through the most changes. So from start to here, it's changed so much, and it's really interesting to see how you can go back to the piece that you thought you finished and constantly change it. My other favorite piece is actually this video projection right behind me. It's a melting moon jar. So moon jar is like this iconic Korean vessel that kind of lost its meaning throughout the history during Japanese colonization of Korea, and has become this pottery that everybody's been obsessing on East and West. But the idea is that I'm kind of playing off this, it's a wordplay on melting pot, right? The idea of like the melting pot. And the word melting pot started as a kind of a idea to, especially in America, to blend in people that are very different into one community and Americanizing it in that one perspective. And I forgot what period it actually started to say it, but now we have a different idea on what a melting pot is, right? So for instance, like we say like Hawaii is a melting pot when all these different people come in to this island and have through generations have become this like one unified kind of culture, right? But that also erases a lot of like individual culture and heritage that they brought in. So through this melting moon jar, melting pot, I wanted to kind of talk about that aspect of the melting pot.